Natalie's Life Diary presents Reading All the Books from Wednesday. Hi, welcome back to Natalie's Diary. In today's diary entry, we, or at least I, will be reading some of the books shown in or mentioned in Netflix's Wednesday show, starring Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams. Because when the show first came out, I fell in love. Because tell me why there were so many literary references sprinkled throughout, and I was just like, this is so good. Like, the whole thing was gothic lit. You can't tell me otherwise. Gothic lit. And Miss Wednesday has such good taste, in my opinion. But anyways, first we obviously have to start with Edgar Allan Poe. I'm gonna start with his poem, which is called The Raven. But first, let me show you this. Look at this. It's the Everyman's Library Pocket Poets. The cover is so pretty. Like, cause I already have the poem in this edition, but like I just had to get another one. Like, look at this. Even comes with a gold tassel. Bookmark. Okay, so the poem is like, look at this. Okay, let's see. It's called The Raven. The poem's like theme is on like mourning and never-ending remembrance. It kind of reminds me of, if you ever watched The Vampire Diaries, the first sequence when Elena Gilbert's writing in her diary and there's a raven overlooking her. It reminds me of that, because like that's the exact same theme. But the reason why the poem's related to Wednesday is because, number one, Wednesday is referred to as a raven, like Raven, page 96. But number two, Nevermore is mentioned a lot in the poem The Raven, and Nevermore is the academy's name that Wednesday goes to, so that's so insane. But like the whole show was based off of Edgar Allan Poe. Like, number one, gothic lit. Number two, Poe Cup. Like, need I say more? His statue, because he was an alumni, like his statue is literally in the courtyard. Wait, there's this one quote that's like, presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating no longer. And I feel like that perfectly captures the essence of fear and overcoming fear. Maybe that's just me, but okay. This is a poem I can get behind. So my rating scale, it's 1 through 5, but I really never rate anything higher than a 4, TBH. Like, okay, I like Nausea by Sartre, one of my favorite books. That's a 4. Like, that's one of my top books. I would rate this poem, The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, solid 3.5. I think that's really good, as in, because personally, I really like, you know, good themes, good symbols, good quotes, and I really like the theme of remembrance. Mourning a loved one is never ending. So basically, I'm gonna sum it up. A raven is visiting a man who's in distraught over the death of his loved one named Lenore, and as the poem becomes, like, it gets darker and darker, I'd say, and then by the last line, the narrator descends into madness, and the narrator descends into madness. What was I writing? Sorry. Like, coming back from school, and I'm like trying to write like summary, because I know I'm brain dead, so like I like gathered information up so that I'm not like just like, yeah, this is good. Like, okay, so basically the narrator's struggling with grief, and then the poem gets darker and darker, and then by the last line, I'm gonna quote this directly from online. The narrator descends into madness, seemingly with the bird's full awareness and intention. think that pretty much sums it. And I think for me, I just really like the theme of never-ending remembrance. Like, the pain kind of never stops. Like, you know, like the pain doesn't just go away. I think I can understand that and get behind that. Maybe I should rank all of these at the end. Okay. I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 4. Out of 5, sorry. School just kills all my brain cells. I cannot take this. Next. Do you like my Degas painting? Changing up the views. Oh. Ignore my laundry. New views. Okay. This is Edgar Allan Poe's. It's a bunch of short story collection and poems in this one. But the short stories that I'm gonna read that were mentioned in Wednesday were The Black Hat, The Cask of Amontillado, and The Pit and the Pendulum. Obviously, I gotta start with The Black Hat because that is only fair because that is the name of Wednesday and Enid's team in the Poe Cup. You know, and they dressed in like these cat suits that were so cute. Like so I'm gonna sum it up. But basically the idea is that, okay, all this is online, okay? It's not coming from my mouth because I can't seem to form ideas after school. I don't know. It's Friday, and usually on Fridays I take a long ass nap. The Black Cat is run by, or like about an alcoholic who's driven by his addiction, and you know, he has a cat, and he does a bunch of stuff to that cat. He kills his cat. Oh my gosh. Don't kill cats. No. I think, but you know what? I'm gonna read it first to see. The Black Cat page. I have all of them underlined too. Bruh. This you Wednesday? I'm joking. She's way prettier than that. Okay, The Black Cat, page 104. Yet mad am I not, and very surely do I not dream. Okay, I'm gonna read it. Oh my gosh. Girl Scout cookie break. God. Also, I like kind of fucked up my hair. Like, don't talk about my wigs. I know it looks funky. Are these the most disgusting Girl Scout cookies? Because they're my favorite. I just heard crumbs go on my bush. That should do. I just finished. What? Why do I have an accent? I just finished and sorry, solid 3 out of 5. I was like, the dude killed his poor cat, and I like cats, okay? He killed his cat, like, I just, like, number one, why did you kill the cat to me? Like, no reason's justifiable. And then there's some, like, it's like his cat reincarnated, not his cat, but like some cat lookalike. It like comes back and haunts his ass. But it's like me thinking, you kind of deserve it though. Like, yeah, sorry dude, you killed your cat. But yeah, and the idea that your actions can't change you, but the way you treat others will make an impact. Are there any other themes? That's what they said, but I did not. Like, I guess the action was him killing his cat, which I say he deserved the haunting afterwards. Wow, the themes are listed: the home, violence, drugs and alcohol, freedom and confinement. Interesting. Okay, I'd give this a 3.2. Wait, that's kind of high if the Raven was 3.5. 3.1 will do. I will shift the scores if there's better stuff. 3.5 3.1 out of 5. Okay. We are reading the Cask of Amontillado. Woo! And this is Xavier and Ajax team in the Poe Cup. They are dressed as, okay, this one's really good, and I really like this one. This was my like favorite like literary entwined reference in the show. So essentially, you know, they're in the Poe Cup, they're like fighting for that. And they all have costumes, right? And Nid and Wednesday are cats, and Xavier and Ajax team dress up as jesters, and you're like, oh, so they're clowns. Like, no, there's a reason behind that, and it's so good. So essentially, in the Cask of Amontillado, I'm gonna pull this, there is, Xavier and Ajax team is dressed up as horrifying jesters, right? And basically, in the Cask of Amontillado, the short story by Poe, Montresor is a nobleman who plots to murder wine expert Fortunato, who apparently insulted him while wearing a jester's outfit. You see the connection? Jesters, Ajax and Xavier's team's costumes are also jesters. So Montresor essentially lures Fortunato into his family vaults with the promise of rare Amontillado, then traps and entombs him alive. Like, okay, what's the point of the entombing? The best part is this basically alludes to okay, like burying people alive, right? Remember when Wednesday got hit by that like gargoyle falling down like the super tall building, and Xavier saves him, and he's like, oh, payback for when you saved me at my grandma's funeral. And it's like, oh, what happened at your grandma's funeral? Oh, I almost got entombed alive because I thought like an empty casket was like cool to hop in, and almost got like burned, you know, entombed alive, like live cremation and that type thing. And it's like, wait a minute, entombed alive? The Cask of Amontillado also? But I don't know, that one, the reference was just good. That's all I have to say. Please, read this one before. This is the Cask of Amontillado, and I already underlined like the whole thing. Guys, dare I say McFlurry snack? I know, I shouldn't be reading like this much in one day, but I blame it on procrastination, which is a fault of my own doing. Still, I'm reading the Cask of Amontillado. I am, obviously my hair is a lot longer. I'm gonna let you take a guess. Yeah, so this video is in shambles just like my life. I stopped filming this, like, I started in January. It is now like basically almost end of March, and I finally finished. Yeah, I just didn't, I got really busy. I'm a high schooler, so, but I did finish reading the books. I just never finished, like, because editing takes a long time. But let's continue. So I didn't finish, like, I think I left off on the pit and the pendulum, and I don't even remember what I said. And if I reiterate, I'm so sorry. Just like I said, I promise the future videos will be better. This video is just in shambles like the rest of my life. So the pit and the pendulum, why am I liking, like, I feel like I like a decent amount of this, so good taste to the producers in that show. Apparently there's a boat named after the short story, and I really like the idea. Like, there was just very vivid description of, you know, like, because the pendulum's like slicing into the dude, and it's not focusing on like the physical pain. Like, imagine, like, it was like, sorry if this is graphic, but it was literally like, and then the pendulum is slicing right in the middle of my ass, like, or like slicing right in the flesh. And I was like, okay, like, I read this in the car and I was like, okay. But then he's like, oh, like, it's not that painful, yada yada yada. But then it's like, the true horror is not the like painful part of the death, it's the realization that he has no choice to die. I feel like it's a mental game, yeah. So whether the narrator like chose to jump in the pit or get sliced in half by the pendulum, there were like both results were death. 3.3 is good. I say 3.3 out of 5. Next, okay, and then I read No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre. Very short. If you had to read one of the books in this video, please, I recommend this one. Maybe I'm biased because I love philosophy and like just Sartre in general, but so how's this related to Wednesday? She literally quotes hell is other people and stated that Sartre is her first crush, but like I think hell is other people is like often misquoted, like it's like, oh, like we don't like people up here, but hell is other people at the very end. And the reason why I like this so much is basically it's 3 people trapped in a room called hell. The characters basically, I'm gonna quote from the summary, extends beyond their physical holding room. They are trapped by the judgments of their cellmates. So basically they're in this room and, you know, there's 3 of them and it's like confession time. Like they're confessing their sins. And cause the only other people there are like the other cellmates, they have nothing to do but to judge you. And that is like that's why other people are hell. It's because it's kind of like society. It's like why we care about what other people think. It's like obviously the person confessing their sins is like being judged by the other 2 when they're after they confess. It's the idea that other people can decide your punishment. I feel it's kind of like Saw. It's like you did something wrong and then now there's these 2 other like motherfuckers that are going to decide like how bad your thing was. Like to you it might not have been that bad, but to them it's like, oh, that's bad, and then you deserve like a way worse, more worse punishment than you thought. Like I don't know if that was even grammatically correct, but literally my brain is in shambles. Fuck. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna shut up. Thank you. So four. And then last but not least, Frankenstein. And I mean, this was written 1800s, like early 1800s. And imagine the shock when I found out in AP World History last year that Mary Shelley's mother was, it's like Wollstonecraft. Their whole family is like a girl boss, like, and I live for that. I'm a super big fan of girl boss. Mary Wollstonecraft. Sorry, I don't remember shit from last year, but she was the advocate of women's rights. But imagine if your daughter comes out and pulls out this fucking banger. Do you know how proud of a parent my parents would be if I did shit like this? Yeah, so imagine being Mary Wollstonecraft, like I'm an advocate for women's rights, and then my own daughter does this, pulls out this fucking banger. That's right. Like, I'd say this is a banger, like a banger in a different way. It's just like knowledge. Like I know there's a debate. Like, was this really you know, science fiction? Because it was pushing the ideas that like, you know, the way we should be careful in the way, you know, our technology is advancing, but like is how we're using, sorry, I'm brain dead, is the way we are using that, you know, technological innovation good, ethical, you know, dangerous knowledge in a way. I feel like my opinion will change over time because I feel like I haven't had it sink in. But if it changes, I'll let you know. But I think this is like at least okay tier to banger possibility for me. You know. Okay, so I'm gonna voice over because my dumbass forgot to like rank the total things, I believe. So Frankenstein, 3.5, give or take. So number 1 coming in at a 4 out of 5, No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre. The number 2 is Frankenstein. And then number 3 would be the Cask of Amontillado with the 3.45. Oh shit, actually it's the Raven, 3.5. And then the Cask of Amontillado, 3.45. And then it's the Pit and the Pendulum, 3.3. And then lastly, coming in with a 3.1, the Black Cat. So hopefully my next video will be more put together. Sorry, yeah, and I hope you enjoyed